love it. I love it. I love it. If you didn't notice, you're listening to Girls Talk Comics. And again, this is Erin, the one, the only introducer on this show.
The MC.
MCCZZ.
Erin.
Okay, but I also do still have a wonderful, lovely co-host.
Ghost Rider Jessica.
Ooh.
Organic.
Nice, I'm loving it. I'm very validating, so I'll control it.
Yes.
All right, today
Queen.
are talking about
Skyward Volume 1. It's a pretty thing that I actually found myself without other people's recommendations wandering through a comic book store. Yes, thank you. That's deserved. I see one comic book store maybe once every 3 or 4 months. This time I think, what was it, 8 since I've been back? So, suffice it to say...
It was like 5 months.
It's fine. I get nasty calls all the time about pull files, and Skyward didn't get that nasty call triggered. So,
Good job, Skyward.
Good job, Skyward. Writer Joe Henderson and artist Lee Garbett, aka Lucifer's Homeboys, team up with Image Comics to bring us an action-adventure exploration of a world, quote, turned upside down, end quote, literally. So, I think Joe Henderson is a talent for the TV show and an artistic director for the TV show, and the artist Lee Garbett worked on Lucifer, the comic. So they came at it from both ends.
So hashtag Lucifer when we're talking about Skyward.
Lucifer's Homeboys.
Yeah.
Set in a post-G-Day world where gravity has decreased to a fraction of its former glory, think moon landing. We follow Willa Foiler on a hero's journey to save gravity. Fix gravity. The world's fucked up. But, yeah, she's on a journey to fix gravity.
I'm so excited we're talking about this comic. So whenever working at a comic shop, you sometimes have to read the previews and all the good stuff that's coming out. Oh, it's such a thick book.
This was a very intimidating book if you've never seen a preview book.
Good news though, half of it is toys, so you can ignore half of it unless you're a toys person.
That's better. Or it always intimidates me when he goes, here.
Yeah, half of it's toys.
Nobody cares about toys.
Yeah. So Skyward was one of the ones that I was hella excited about. Not everyone was as excited about it because we can just say it. Maybe not a lot of people are excited about a teenage black girl saving the day.
Yeah, that was why I picked it up, because there's a pretty black lady on the cover.
Yeah, she is a fantastic character. Willa is incredibly relatable, incredibly fun, and incredibly connected to this event.
Vibrant personality.
Yeah. Her father actually did a lot of research on gravity before this G-Day event happened. Mm-hmm. And because of that, she gets really connected and propelled into the Save the Day story.
But it's definitely like a hero's journey because it was like on the era of her 20th birthday.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. It also has a lot of like late stage capitalism themes in it that were really kind of good to have. There's a lot of the wealthy live, like literally everything shifts. The wealthier you are, the closer to the ground you live.
Because it's safe down here.
Because it's much safer. They have gravity boots that keep them connected to the ground. But there's just a lot of cool... Okay, what excited me the most about it, about this gimmick, is this felt like a true sci-fi kind of story. They explored social with the late stage capitalism thing, and disabilities, because they had characters who were obese, they had characters who were disabled, and so they explored that in a low grav.
Obesity in low grav looks like so much fun. I want to be a ball.
Oh, yeah. Totally. And I love the fact that the guy was like, I'm an amputee, and look at me being able to propel myself and exist in this world equally with everyone else.
Which is a great example about the the two different takes that it shows people who don't have as much money as being highly adaptive, while also showing that people who have a lot of money throw money at the problem. That's kind of...
But, and it also shows how the people who don't have a lot of money, or who do have a lot of money, are really tied to traditional beliefs.
Right.
I mean, the guy, the amputee, every time he went home to his family, they wanted him to put a blanket on and sit in his wheelchair, like the old days. It was very interesting. It definitely had that sci-fi component. What I also loved about it,
yes,
they had a depiction of storms in low gravity,
which was super fun.
Freaking awesome, because instead of rain falling, it just congeals into a giant rain bubble,
which answers so many structural questions. Like, the more I thought I'd bounce off of this a little bit after some more world building, because I'd be like, okay, so we've run out of ways to solve problems. Like, how are they still living in cities? But then things like this happen, and you see people stringing stuff out to catch water as it goes by, because piping won't work because of the way that works. So, like,
and delivery is super easy, because you just like hook a box to you and just jump around carrying that along. Did they introduce bugs in the first 5?
No.
Oh my gosh.
They mentioned it though. They did set the premise that and that's the other thing that I like about this, is they lay the trap and you don't even realize until the next issue. You're like, they just told me about that. Like, there's literally no actions wasted, which is something I really appreciate in comics, because it's such a tight form.
Yeah, and it's really nice that Joe Henderson is involved with a TV show, because there are definitely comics, when you read them, you're like, oh my god, this is written for like an MTV channel, and you kind of hate it because it has the pacing of like a crappily, poorly written reality TV kind of thing.
Yeah, fun reality.
But Joe, being connected to TV and then going to comics, I think had a better perspective of pacing, and I actually thought the pacing went really, really well, and the character dev went really, really well, and they connected things in fun ways.
Episodic storytelling, man, it's really an art.
The series did just end. It's only 15 issues. At the time of this recording, it sounds like it might be optioned. So
that would be so awesome to see that in IR, or even just a TV show, like a short run TV show or something.
Yeah, maybe like a 6 series like Amazon thing or Netflix, and give it a shot.
Amazon could throw some money at it. Oh, now I'm salivating.
Yeah, but this is quality comics, because the G-Day event was an incredibly tragic event. A lot of people, they talk about it with some of the characters in the background. The world has moved on. I think it's been like 20 years since Willa was born, like just before the G-Day event, and so she never grew up with gravity, and she's almost 20. Yeah. So a lot of people have adapted. They've overcome. They're hilarious. They have great relationships. God, in the last volume, I've read the entire series. Can't wait till volume 3 comes out and we talk about it, because there are some scenes in it that I absolutely loved. So it's quality. I recommend picking it up. I think that we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We normally do how do we rate it? Recommend it? I highly recommend this, and I think it's perfect in a trade format.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's fun in singles, it's fun in trades, which is cool.
So moving backwards just a little scotch.
Yeah.
Female character aspect of it, Willa as the protagonist is moderately objectified, slightly objectified, but not like, that's not the point, that's not the purpose, that's not what she's focused on. It was just enough to really lend credence to it being a realistic female existence. Yeah. There's just a little bit of side eye and a little bit of comment, and then everybody moved on with their life, because that wasn't anything that bothered her. And I really liked that. I noticed every time they did it, and I was like, solid, because it's not a female writer, it's a male writer, and whenever I see that, I'm always like, what are you getting at here, buddy? Because I've been burned too many times. Barbarella, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, this is not a Barbarella. No, Willa's actually, again, she's really fun, she's engaging, she's focused, she's brave, she's bold, she's got all of these strong characteristics about her. And to kind of tie into that, when people do look down on her, when people do want to make her less than what she really is. She stands up to the cause. She's got good friends who help her out. She meets a lot of people in her adventure. The characters are just good characters. All in all, I think her dad is my favorite character.
I would agree. I would agree with that statement.
Yeah. And
I really, we're going to talk about this some more.
Yeah. We not on recording because as much as we try to remain as spoiler free as possible.
Give them a little bit of sizzle and then let them go eat the meat.
This is definitely one I recommend if you want a good adventure.
Okay, so
the art's also great.
The art is also great, but the list of, and this just, it was billed as a dystopian, it was billed as an action, it was billed as an adventure, it was billed as a teen, because it is kind of a teen. It's got some blood and gore in it, but it doesn't have a whole lot of other explicit sort of things in it. Mm-hmm. It's about what kids are desensitized to these days. It's not super hard hitting. So, not to say it's light, but it's definitely something that a teenager can read. Oh yeah,
and it's funny. Mm-hmm. Like it's where it could go bloody and violent, it goes more comedic instead.
Yeah, but didn't do the whole Joss Whedon thing where it's too funny and doesn't take anything seriously. I think it does a good balance.
Yeah, it's definitely, you've got a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old running around who's more like yikes rather than
yes,
an SOL. So oops, it's not where I'm supposed to be.
Oopsie-daisies. Highly capable, highly solid. There's not a lot of hand wringing, and it's just such a good story too. I mean, like, it's got all of the things. It checks all of the boxes.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the writing carries this one more than the art. The art is still quality. The art still is a huge component of it, but it
looks like a superhero comic.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it definitely has the feel. I was just looking over the art and the covers, and it feels a little bit like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it does.
Like it looks and just feels like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it totally does.
Including the building jumping from low gravity.
Yeah, no, it does. It feels like it was the story was supposed to carry it, and I think it does. But the art does back it up. It holds up its own.
Mm-hmm.
Capable.
Definitely.
Not the main focus, and that's okay.
And I don't know if the pacing was more Joe, or if it was more Lee, or if it was them equally, but they
wrote the script and then the artist filled it in, because you see the scripts in the back of the issues.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they did a really great job working together.
Yes, they sure did.
So that was definitely quality, and I just love her friends. Her friends are so cool.
Come be my friend,
right?
And she just is such a badass. I want to be her.
Yeah,
I just want to be her.
Hella fashionable. She's just super bold. She's got just this I just want to explore the world, and
she seems like somebody would, who was capable, smart, and then also knew what it was like to fly.
She'd be a skateboarder,
she totally
if there was gravity, but that kind of fun one who's I chew bubblegum and skateboard and know everybody on the street.
I feel like you have a person you're thinking of when you say that.
I do. More of a character trope, but she's cool.
Yeah,
I'd be her friend.
I'd
be intimidated too by how cool she is.
I wouldn't approach her, but she's the kind that approach me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think that's gonna wrap that up on Skyward.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything you need to add.
I'm just gonna keep saying how much I love it over and over again if you don't make me stop.
We'll record this and do 15 minutes of I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, that's too much. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you'll hear us next time. Bye. It's funny.